Welcome to the Statline podcast. I'm Safal.
And I'm Atlas.
Yeah, welcome everyone. This is our first episode. We've worked really hard over the off season to try and get ready for this moment for us. Me and Atlas are big sports fans in our mid 20s. We've been friends since the first day of high school, and we're just your average sports fan. So we were like, you know what? Let's get together, talk some ball, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it. How's
Yeah,
it going,
man.
Atlas?
I'm so excited. It's going well so far. Thank you. I'm so excited for this NFL season. It is upon us. We got the Eagles game coming up Thursday, and man, I'm so ready for the NFL.
Dude, it's been like 7 months without football. Oh my God, I'm scratching. I'm itching.
Well, we got college football last weekend, but this is
What a
not the
blessing.
NFL.
I know. Like last year or last week, we had Ohio State versus Texas. We had LSU versus Clemson. We had some big ones. I mean, UNC
UNC
versus
versus
TCU.
TCU.
We don't talk about that, but still, we had some like big time college football matchups last year. But even then, me and Atlas are still bigger NFL fans. But it was nice to have some football back into our lives. Atlas, we got the Eagles, we got the Cowboys, the NFL's back. Let's talk about that game on Thursday, man. Well, what a way to start the season. The Super Bowl champs, the Eagles coming out, the Cowboys after making that huge market Micah Parsons trade coming into Philly. Philadelphia also has that weird like, oh, we don't talk about last year. Like Nick Sirianni had an interview earlier today talking about how like we're not gonna be there out there for the banner raising and whatnot, which is kind of weird to me. For the Eagles, like they're not the Chiefs, they're not the Patriots. They haven't been to many, like they haven't been winning Super Bowls at least with that roster and with that coach. And for Nick Sirianni to be like, oh, we're not gonna look at last year. How do you take that as an Eagles fan, considering like how big it is to win Super Bowls? It's no guarantee that a team wins a Super Bowl.
Look, I would be talking it up. That was an amazing season last year, and Sirianni even said to the reporter, he said that he didn't even know that it was the banner night. Like, of course you knew it was the banner night. Like, this is the first game since the Super Bowl. Like, take appreciation to it. This may be the only time you win a Super Bowl, like you said. Like, it comes hard in this league, and the last Eagles coach that won a Super Bowl wasn't there much longer, so Sirianni better, tighten up. All seriousness, I think it'll be a good game, and I think they'll be dialed in. But I'm not too worried about that fake persona from not caring about last season.
Yeah, I mean, you are a big Eagles fan. Uh, I'm guessing you got them winning the game.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, the Micah Parsons trade definitely helps the Eagles' case for Week One, but at the same time, I would have picked the Eagles every day of the week, twice on Sunday, and three times on Thursday. So let's go Eagles.
Well, to shock you, I love the Eagles, don't get me wrong. I think the Eagles are going to end up winning the division, but I think week one, I know this is going to be a shocker because of how I feel about the Michael Parsons trade. I think the Cowboys are going to win because
Come on, dog.
throughout NFL history, it's weird, because I think in the NFL, it's such a very even league, right? There's so much parity in the league, and the difference is very marginal between the even the great teams and the really bad teams. The difference is very marginal. Couple plays here, couple plays there, that decides 2, 3 wins, changes the outcome of the season and whatnot. And I think the Cowboys are a bit underrated. There are a lot of injuries last year, and when you have a seismic shift in your roster, like the Micah Parsons trade, I think the players just lock in more because I mean, I remember a couple years ago when the Colts fired their head coach in the middle of the season and they hired Jeff Saturday, a former player. Everyone's bashing on the Colts. They're like, what is the Colts doing? Next week, they go into Las Vegas, or they might have hosted them, and Josh McDaniels' Raiders is in town, and Jeff Saturday's Colts wins that game. We saw this last year as well. Carolina Panthers, high expectations coming into the year. The Bryce Young just absolutely falters in the first 2 weeks. The Panthers looked like one of the worst offenses in the history of the league, man. They couldn't even crack 200 yards in the first 2 games, throwing interception after interception. We had fans with brown paper bags over their heads in that week 2 game against the Chargers at home. But in week 3, Dave Canales comes in and says, no more Bryce. We got Andy Dalton, makes a huge switch that early into the year. Guess what happens? They go into Las Vegas. I mean, it's the Raiders again, but still, they go into Las Vegas with Andy Dalton, come out with the victory. They score 36 points. A team that couldn't muster up any points in the scoreboard was scoring 36 the very next week after making that change because I think all the players just lock in more. And I kind of expect to see something similar from the Cowboys here after giving up Micah Parsons. Like just the players locking in, like, whoa, what just happened? We got to lock in, boys. We got to go to Philly. We got to play the Eagles. We got to play the Super Bowl champs. And the Eagles also might have a little Super Bowl hangover, feeling themselves, oh, we're Super Bowl champs, even like trying a little too hard to play the last year's last year, this year's this year. They're trying too hard, man. Like seriously, take it chill. I think they will figure out their groove by the end of the year on how to handle this success. But I don't think they're handling it properly right now. You got to celebrate your wins, and they're turning the page too quickly. It's gonna come back to bite them. Give me the Cowboys in Week 1. Now, with that being said, let's talk about that trade. Let's talk about that debacle of a trade that is the Micah Parsons trade. I mean, to paint the picture to all the fans out there, right? When you're the NFL general manager, when you get hired to be an NFL general manager, now the Cowboys are run by the Jones family, so it's a little bit different. But let's say I get hired to be the Cowboys general manager in 2021.
Hopefully you do, man. Hopefully Jerry Jones is out of there because you
Oh my
would do a
God.
way better job than him. Anybody
But
would.
if I'm the hired as the Cowboys general manager in 2021, the biggest risk I have, best part of my job description, or the thing that is going to come to my ownership the most, is who I take with that first round pick in that 2021 draft. And the Cowboys hit the jackpot. They got Micah freaking Parsons. I mean, take the QBs out, okay? If you take the quarterbacks out, if you're starting a franchise, which non-quarterback are you going to take to start your franchise? The answer might be Micah Parsons. You know, Micah Parsons is in a very short list of guys that you would start your franchise with if you could take any player in the league. The Cowboys landed that guy on their doorstep, on their team to lead their defense. This defense was the #1 ranked scoring defense just 2 years ago. You know, Deron Bland was given six pick sixes in 1 year. Goddamn, like what? And now they're trading Micah Parsons. It's ridiculous.
They're
It's
cooked, man.
it's ridiculous that you can trade a player of this age, of this value, inside your own conference to the Green Bay Packers, a team that's already on the cusp of having deep playoff runs. You know, they have a well built out roster. They've made the playoffs like for the past couple of years. The
I mean,
Cowboys
they did
saw.
the Cowboys dirty 2 years ago in the playoffs. Like,
Oh my God, BTA, like you call it, you know? To the Cowboys in Jerry World in the playoffs. You saw what that team did, and you just handed him Micah freaking Parsons, and that contract is not even that bad. Okay, it's not even that bad. $47 million a year. Yes, in the current market, it might be a lot, but guess what? TJ Watt just got $41.5 million. TJ Watt's like 6 years older than Micah Parsons. For Micah Parsons' age, even after his 4 years, right, you might still be able to keep him. Now, guess what? Green Bay's going to keep on extending Micah Parsons, and they're going to get a lot of wins out of Micah Parsons. I just can't understand it. I mean, as a general manager, how can you blow this? It, I don't understand it, Atlas. Do you understand what's going on in Dallas?
I
What
think
just
it's
happened
just
there?
ego, man. It's just ego. Jerry Jones loves the drama. He loves being on a soap opera in Dallas. You know, it's going to be his way or the highway. He tried to get a deal done with Micah without representation, and then when representation came back and tried to make a deal work, he wanted to back off. So, I mean, you know, he gets what he gets, and I'm glad that he's on the Packers. I'm happy he's out of the NFC East, but that was one of the dumbest moves in NFL history. 2 first-round picks and an old man, Kenny Clark. I mean, what are you doing, Jerry? Like, what are you doing?
Brian Burns got offered 2 first-round picks by the Rams like a couple years ago, and the Panthers said no. Brian
That was
Burns.
stupid, by the way. That was
Oh
one
yeah,
of
of
the.
course. That was stupid by the Panthers. But the Panthers said no to getting 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns on a contract year, and the Cowboys said, "Here you go, Green Bay. Like let me get two like 20 at least. I mean, Green Bay's gonna be a good team. That's not gonna be a high-end first-round pick.
Yeah,
That's gonna be bottom of the
late
first
20s
round,
for sure.
late first round. I mean, come on. Like the Cowboys are gonna wish, they're gonna pray to God that a guy like Michael Parsons falls in their lap with one of those 2 picks.
I've
I
already
don't
seen
get it.
Cowboys fans get on Twitter or X and talk about the draft for next season. Like they're in shambles right now before week 1. So I'll take your pick and shove it in the trash can because the Eagles are gonna
And the
win.
Cowboys, the crazy part about this is the Cowboys are not a team that has a young quarterback or in a rebuilding team. They're like, okay, we don't want to commit this much cap space to Michael Parsons because we're rebuilding. They just paid Dak Prescott and made him the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. They just paid CeeDee Lamb and made him one of the highest paid wide receivers in NFL history. Obviously, Jamar Chase has broken that record this year, but still, when CeeDee Lamb was signed, he was one of, if not the highest paid receiver in NFL history. They are in a win now mode. They are committing their capital on these high end guys. Micah Parsons, you can make an argument, is better than both Dak and CeeDee. If
It's
I'm
not an
starting a team,
argument, to be honest. I mean,
yeah,
Micah
if I'm
Parsons is
starting a team, I'm
100%
taking
way
Micah over
better than
those
them.
two guys,
Easily.
right? So uh, I just don't understand it, man. I don't understand it. I don't know what's going on in Dallas. This is the reason why they haven't been to the conference championship game since the flat screen TVs were invented. I mean, no. Can you think about that? No one has seen the Cowboys in a conference championship game on a flat screen TV.
Yeah,
That's
we were not alive when the Cowboys were in the conference
yeah.
championship game.
I mean, and we see the reason why. We see the reason why. It's Jerry Jones. He needs to let football people handle football operations. But now let's go to a team that handles football the way it's supposed to be handled. The Kansas City Chiefs. They're playing the LA Chargers in Sao Paulo, Brazil on Friday. What are you thinking about this one, Atlas?
I mean, Brazil games. We'll see how it goes. I
True,
like,
Neymar right
yeah,
here, my
Neymar
guy.
right there, man. I noticed the jersey, bro. It's fire. But I will say, I'll take the Chiefs 100% of the time, especially week one this year, because they just lost Rashee Rice, but Mahomes is back there every year. And then we got Travis Kelce, who just got engaged to the biggest icon on the earth, Taylor Swift, right now. So,
She is the like I think she's a she's a celebrity that defines our generation.
oh yeah, whether you
She's
like
the
her or you
defining
don't like
celebrity
her,
of our generation. Yeah,
she's
whether you're a fan of
polarizing.
her or not, no one has the influence that Taylor Swift does. And I mean, Travis Kelce bagged it. Good for him,
Yeah,
brother.
props to him,
He
man.
bagged.
Yeah, he did, and this could be coming up on his last season. A lot of people are
Probably is
speculating.
looking like it, right?
Yeah, it's looking like it. He's getting
Legendary
older.
career. Shout out to one of
Yeah,
the greatest tight ends of all time, Travis Kelce,
legend, definitely top two tight end with Gronk, if I had to say.
for sure.
But yeah, so I'm gonna
At
go
least
with
of our times.
of our times. Yeah, he's the one of the two that we can remember most. That's gonna have the longest lasting imprint onto the NFL's game. But with that being said, we got Pacheco coming back fully healthy this year. Got Karlaftis, who just signed a massive extension. McDuffie back there at corner. I think they just have more experience overall than the Chargers, and I think the Jim Harbaugh. We'll see how he does over there, but I got Big Red over in Kansas City for sure.
Oh, for sure. I mean, look, I am not in the business of doubting Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Any team with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, they can win. They can win Super Bowls. I don't care what the rest of the roster looks like. I don't really care about anything else. I don't care how old Travis Kelce gets. If the quarterback's Mahomes, head coach is Andy Reid, I love that team. Now, with that being said, I think Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert get it done in week one. This is a Brazil game. The Kansas City Chiefs just lost the Super Bowl, got beat down in the Super Bowl by the Eagles, right? I mean, the real score is 40-6. I know the final score was what, 40-22 or
40
something.
to 22, but we
Yeah,
know that
but the
it was
real score is 40 to
BTA.
6. That was
BTA.
a BTA for sure. That was the
Shout out my
definition
boy
of BTA.
CJ.
But I think they're still like a little hungover for that now. Through the course of the season, are the Chiefs going to be fine? For sure. If there's any team that's equipped to handle a Super Bowl hangover, it's the team with Mahomes. It's the team with Andy Reid. But for this singular game, I think Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh come back firing. Remember, Justin Herbert also had an awful end to his year last year, right? He threw like 2 picks the entire year. With the first playoff game, he's throwing 4 picks in Houston against C.J. Stroud. So Justin Herbert, I mean, this is also a big year for Justin Herbert. This is a prove it year. Justin Herbert needs to have the results. Justin Herbert is eye candy as a quarterback. He needs to prove it now. I mean, when you look at Justin Herbert, he is the physical definition of what you want in a quarterback. If you're 3D printing a quarterback, I'm printing out Justin Herbert out of that printer. But then in the big games, right? I mean, I think a few years ago he had that game against Vegas. Uh, they ended up tying that game for them to make the playoffs or something, and then they go to Jacksonville. He has that
Oh, that was
27 to
terrible.
0 lead to start, and then melts down against Trevor, another guy in Herbert's tier, right? Another sexy guy at QB who loves no, as in the play. The play is sexy, or instead of the play, Like the quarterback, I don't know, like
The
the
attributes
thinking.
the
Yeah,
attributes that he has, like he's got the perfect size, he's got,
exactly.
running
No,
ability, throws
he's like the
dots,
sexy girl with no personality. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You're
Like
gonna
that's the best
pick
way to
her,
put
but
it.
then once you pick her, she gets kind of
For sure.
shallow, so you're
Well,
like,
on the Hinge profile, oh my God, super like Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence, give me those guys. Put them on my team from their Hinge profile. But then they come and play, right? You go on a date with them. It's like, come on, like they're not trying to talk. Like, well, what are we doing here? Like, in the big games, Justin Herbert falters. Trevor Lawrence hasn't had a good year in 2 years. Hasn't had a good game since he went like 9-1 with the Jaguars. These two guys need to turn around. I think Justin Herbert in that Week 1 game, I think they will figure out a way to beat Mahomes. I love Lad McConkey. I think he's going to take a big year 2 step. Omarion Hampton, UNC product, my man, Omarion Hampton. I love that. I love the addition of Omarion Hampton to the Chargers. They got rid of J.K. Dobbins. They'll be just fine at running back. They also have Najee Harris in that backfield. I like the Chargers in Week 1, even though
Keenan
I
Allen
like
is
the
back as
Chiefs.
well.
Keenan Allen's back. That's true. Mike Williams was back for a little bit and then retired, I think.
He came into the building and left immediately.
Yeah, yeah. But I like the Chargers in Week 1, even though I think the Chiefs are still going to win the AFC West for the overall season. Now, speaking of the Chiefs, there's two teams that just have not been able to get past the Chiefs. They had an iconic playoff game last year. They have two of the most iconic quarterbacks in NFL history at this point. They're playing in Week 1. It's the Bills. It's the Ravens. Oh, I can't wait for Sunday night.
Oh
Man,
man, Sunday Night Football is back, and this could not be a better start to the year.
I can't look. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I miss Chris Collinsworth, man. I
Same.
miss Chris Collinsworth going.
Al
Now here's a
Michaels.
guy. Now here's a guy that knows ball.
Do you miss the Mahomes glaze as well, or
Oh,
no?
I mean, at this point, oh, dude, put me some Mahomes glaze on that TV, man. I know Josh Allen's gonna make a crazy throw. Now here's a guy that looks like Mahomes.
Now here's a guy who flashes some talent like Mahomes. But
That
yeah,
that's kind of what we see out of Patrick Mahomes. But yeah, who do you have in that Bills and Ravens game?
I mean, Ravens, simple. They have a bad taste in their mouth from last year's playoff game. Lamar got robbed of the MVP, and I got the Ravens. They got a talented roster. They just made Kyle Hamilton the highest paid safety in NFL history. Got Derrick Henry coming back for year 2 with Baltimore. Just picked up DeAndre Hopkins, another year of Zay Flowers. I think they got a lot of consistency on their team, and I'm gonna take them over the Bills.
Oh, great pick. I love me some Ravens as well. This is going to be a revenge game for Lamar. Lamar's going to come in with a vengeance. I mean, two things happened to Lamar last year, right? The MVP. I think Lamar, that was by far the best year in Lamar's career. Statistically, the numbers he was putting up through the air, through the ground, that was way better than his 2023 year, the year that he actually won the MVP. And I think that was better than the 2019 year, another year when he won unanimous MVP. And he didn't win it last year, right? Josh Allen won it. And these two guys were matched up in the playoffs. Now, in the playoffs, Josh Allen's narrative in the playoffs is great playoff QB that just can't beat Mahomes. Lamar's narrative is great regular season QB, can't do nothing in the playoffs. Kind of similar to Peyton Manning, where Lamar Jackson's spectacular in the regular season, but not come playoff time, his play falters. And in the beginning of that Bills game, it looked like it, right? He had that nasty fumble that Von Miller caused or recovered in the middle of the second quarter, and it looked like, oh man, Lamar. I was feeling so bad for Lamar. But then Lamar came back roaring, had a great comeback. I mean, that was supposed to be his moment. He led the Ravens all the way back, middle of the fourth quarter, one score game. He's driving the Ravens, and Mark Andrews fumbles the ball in the midfield. Oh, it looked like the Ravens had blown it. Oh man, I felt so bad for Lamar. But here we were, the Ravens driving back in a one-score game. Lamar Jackson, is this his signature playoff moment? Man, he hits Isaiah Likely from the 30-yard line. That's it. That's his moment. They go for the two-point conversion. He hits Mark Andrews in the chest. That's his moment. Oh no, Mark Andrews drops the ball. What the hell, man?
He ruined it.
That was ridiculous. That was a brutal loss for Lamar. I felt so bad for Lamar Jackson. I think he's locked in this year. I really like the Ravens this year, and to start off this game as well. I think they will be so locked in to beat the Bills. I think that was just a demoralizing loss last year, and I think they're coming out with a vengeance. I like Lamar, I like Derrick Henry, I like Zay Flowers, I like Isaiah Likely. I mean Mark Andrews. That was a brutal game, but usually he's
If he
good.
drops one pass this game, he's gotta
Oh my
stay on the
God, the
field, never
fans are
come
gonna be
off, man.
rioting if they're playing Mark Andrews out there over Isaiah Likely and he drops a pass again. Oh my God, but I still like the Ravens to beat the Bills, handle business. But the Bills are going to be fine through for the season. They got Josh Allen, they have Sean McDermott. They're going to have a great defense. The offensive line's going to be good.
James
The
Cook
Bills
just
are going to
got
be fine.
paid. They got
Who? Oh,
James
James Cook.
Cook,
Yeah.
yeah. They
Yeah,
got
yeah,
Joey
yeah. For
Bosa up
sure.
there. They
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
good squad. Yeah, I think they'll have a great season. But yeah, week one definitely taking Baltimore.
I mean, talking about that, I guess, what team do you think is going to come out of nowhere and surprise us all? A team that didn't make the playoffs last year and is bound to make the playoffs this year.
I mean, so I'll go both sides, like NFC, AFC. So NFC, I'll say the Falcons first. You know, they got all the talent in the world. They should be a playoff team, but they had Kirk Cousins last year starting it out. He wasn't getting the job done, so they brought Penix in. They drafted him early in the first round last year, which we knew was a big controversy. But he's here now. He's a starter from day one. And, you know, you got Kyle Pitts, the elusive Kyle Pitts still there. He's only 24 still. We
Mike
got
Goat.
Drake London. Yeah, Tommy's goat, if you know, you know. But, you know, we got Drake London. So you got hella talent on offense. You got some good talent on defense. AJ Terrell, Jesse Bates. They just drafted James Pierce. They got so much talent, and I think this is the year they got Raheem Morris as well. They're playing the NFC South, your division, obviously with the Panthers, but that division isn't the hardest division in the conference right now or in the NFL. So I'd say there's still room to take that over, even though the Buccaneers are looking pretty solid. But so that's my pick in the NFC, and then the AFC, the Bengals. You know, they at the end of the last year they were winning a bunch of games in a row and looked like a playoff team, but their defense is still going to be ass, but Burrow, Chase, Higgins, Chase Brown, like that offense is too stacked for
They're
me.
gonna they're gonna be in shootouts.
Oh yeah, they're going to be scoring 40 a game, and I love it because as an NFL fan because I love offense. You know, as a Eagles fan, obviously you don't want to let all these teams score a bunch of points, but you know, for the
Yep.
NFL, otherwise, you know, Bengals are a great team to watch. Definitely a superstar team, and so I would take the Bengals as my AFC team. What about you, Safal?
Yeah, I mean, in the AFC, I'm gonna stick in the AFC North. I know the Steelers did make the playoffs last year. But, they barely made the playoffs and got beat TA by the Ravens. They got beat down by the Ravens. But I think this year, I love the Steelers. I love the Steelers. I think they're being so underrated by the league. I think they're gonna have a deep playoff run. Aaron Rodgers is in his last year. Absolutely not. You're
I'm
just a
just
hater. You're
sleeping.
just a hater.
I'm just sleeping right now. Don't worry.
Nah, Steelers are going to be good, man. Mike Tomlin and that defense is solid every year. There's no need to worry. They just paid TJ Watt. They're going to be fine on defense, and that offense, man. I think DK Metcalf is a big upgrade over George Pickens. Aaron Rodgers is obviously a big upgrade over the combination of Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. I like the addition of Roman Wilson, the rookie, Caleb Johnson from Iowa, the rookie running back, Jalen Warren's still there, right?
Well,
I like the
Wilson's
offense
going
as well.
into his second year, but
Yeah. The second year receiver from Michigan in Pittsburgh, but still, I like the Steelers. I think they're bound to have a very deep playoff run. But I mean, it just comes down to Aaron Rodgers at the end of the day. And I think last year with the Jets, watching the Jets games, like living in New York here, watching the Jets games the way I did last year, Aaron Rodgers was a different quarterback in the second half of the year than he was in the first half of the year. First half of the year, he was just coming back from like his Achilles injury, and then the owner just blows it up and fires Robert Saleh. The team's all over the place, and I think Aaron Rodgers still like did his best. The kicker missed like a bazillion field goals from all over the field. There were hella drops. The Jets had the more drops than any other team in the league. It was just a bad situation to be in. Obviously, it was a mess off the field as well. The Steelers, much more stable organization, better receivers, better skill position players, better offensive line than the Jets, better defense than the Jets, better head coach than the Jets. The Aaron Rodgers is going to get it done in the AFC. He's going to take the Steelers deep into the playoffs. Now in the NFC, I have my team, the Carolina Panthers. Oh my God, I love me some Panthers this year, man. This is the most exciting offseason as a Panthers fan, probably since 2019. 2019 is the year after Cam Newton had his like shoulder injury against Pittsburgh, where they started off 6-2, and then they lost a few games to end the year. But as Panthers fans, we were still excited to go into 2019 because we saw Cam Newton and Luke Kuechly, and we haven't been this relevant or this excited as Panthers fans to go into a Panthers season since then. I don't think I love Ted McMillan. Bryce Young at the end of last year, he was cooking, man. He almost beat the Chiefs. He almost beat Mahomes, which is the AFC champion. He should have beat the Eagles if Xavier Legette catches that perfectly thrown ball by Bryce Young. Bryce Young would have pulled off a 98-yard game-winning drive in Philly against the team that would end up winning the Super Bowl. Bryce Young's legit, man. He also had another game against the Buccaneers where I was watching that game live. I thought they had won. Baker Mayfield had a great drive to tie up the game, and the Buccaneers won it in overtime. The Panthers, I mean, if those three games go the Panthers' way, they end the year like 5-1 or 6-1. So I think the Panthers are coming out the NFC South this year. I don't know, like if the Bucks are probably still going to win the division, but I think the Panthers are going to make the playoffs, make the wild card, and shock the NFL fans. Bryce Young's going to revive himself to be a franchise quarterback at the end of this year. This is a test year for Bryce Young. Bryce Young bought himself the ability to be the starting quarterback this year with his resurgence at the end of last year. But this is the year where we figure out if Bryce Young is the future or he's another bust. So
I hope he's the future, man, but I
oh,
really
for
don't.
sure.
I don't see the
I believe
Panthers
he is the
winning.
future.
I don't see the Panthers making the playoffs, but I'll give them like 7, 8 wins. Like that would be a great season for Carolina.
Who do you have winning the NFC?
NFC. Obviously I'm gonna keep the Eagles in the NFC Championship game, but I'll include the Rams as well because they were the closest team to beating us in the playoffs last year. I think the addition of Devontae Adams is a huge signing for them. Cooper Kupp was obviously really good, but I think Devontae as a bigger guy like Puka as well is just going to cause a lot of problems for defenses. You still got Kyron Williams there, Jared Verse on defense. Like their defense is pretty stacked, especially their front seven. So I'm gonna pick the Rams versus the Eagles, but I'll still pick the Eagles to make the Super Bowl. And then on the AFC side, I'm gonna pick the Bills versus the Ravens. I think they'll both overcome the Chiefs this year, or at
One
least
rematch.
yeah, at least one of them will overcome the Chiefs this playoffs. Sorry, and so yeah, we'll see what happens week one, and then that'll determine who I think will win the AFC Championship game. But for now, I'm going to pick the Ravens to win that game as well, and then for the Ravens to eventually hoist the Lombardi over the Philadelphia Eagles. Sadly, just because I think Lamar is due for a Super Bowl, and I think he'll put that to fruition this season.
Yeah, well, for me in the NFC, I have the Buccaneers over the Packers. I think Baker Mayfield's going to have a huge year. I love the addition of Mika Egbuka. Right, Chris Godwin's going to come back from injury midway through the year. He's going to have Mike Evans. We all know about how consistent Mike Evans is. I have no doubts that it's going to continue into this year as well. I love Bucky Irving in that backfield. That offense is going to be special. I mean, that defense is always solid with Todd Bowles, calling the plays. From the head coaching position. Todd Bowles is a proven head coach at this point. The Buccaneers are proven entities. They've been in the playoffs every year for this past half decade, basically, right? I love me the Buccaneers. I think that this the year they're gonna step up from perennial playoff players, playoff contenders since Brady left to now being Super Bowl contenders that they were the way they were when Brady was there. So I love me the Buccaneers in the NFC, and I also like the Packers. I think the Detroit Lions, after losing two coordinators, are going to fall back a little. Minnesota Vikings, after losing Sam Darnold, J.J. McCarthy's a rookie. We don't know he's going to fall back. Obviously, Ben Johnson, that they lost him to Chicago. Let's see what Chicago does. They had a pretty bad year last year. They got a big upgrade at head coach. Let's see what Chicago is. But I think Green Bay now with the addition of Micah Parsons is poised to go win the NFC North, make a deep playoff run. I have the Buccaneers beating the Packers in the NFC Championship game. Now on the AFC side, This is going to be a shocker, but I actually have the Steelers beating the Ravens in the AFC Championship game. Like I was talking about earlier, I love the Steelers this year. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a big year. I think Aaron Rodgers he's going to have a Peyton Manning in the Broncos, Tom Brady on the Buccaneers type of year where he just takes this team through his cerebral assassin at the QB spot. He's going to lead the Steelers to the play deep into the playoffs, into the Super Bowl, and I think he's going to beat the Ravens. Lamar Jackson's going to have a great year. He's going to get him to the AFC Championship again, and hopefully, I really hope Lamar beats Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs this year. At least he'll be over that hump. I don't think he can get over the Steelers hump. I like the Steelers over the Ravens in the
Dude,
AFC.
Brady and Manning didn't wait until almost training camp starting to sign with their team. Like this is not the
Okay, that
same.
is true. That was a
This is
little
not the
suspicious.
same. Like they don't have the talent like the Buccaneers had when Brady was there. They don't have the talent that the Broncos
Okay,
had.
as an NFL fan, I just want Aaron Rodgers to have his, like his moment before he retires. I think
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. I think he's a top five QB, probably a top three QB, but he's not going to get remembered as such because he didn't win the Super Bowls he needs to. Now, if he wins the Super Bowl with the Steelers this year, I think he'll be fairly or better judged throughout history as a great quarterback the way he is right now. Right now he's a borderline top five quarterback, right? Like some people are gonna have him on the bottom tier of their top 10. Some people are gonna have him on the upper echelon of their top 10. Some people will have him cracking the top five. But he's one of those guys that should be firmly in the top five. So if he wins the Super Bowl this year, he can kind of have that Peyton Manning type of arc where great quarterback only has one Super Bowl but wins it at the end of his career to elevate his career to a new level. And I just want to see that out of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see it too. I've been an Aaron
You
Rodgers
just don't
fan.
think it'll
No,
happen.
I just don't see it happening, man. Like, he would be lucky to play all 17 games this year, much less
Yeah.
make the playoffs, much less make it past the first round, much less win the Super Bowl. Like, you got to be crazy if you're taking the Steelers to win the Super Bowl in the year 2025.
Well, yeah, I do have the Steelers beating the Buccaneers to win the Super Bowl in a great match. You know, Super Bowl 60. Where is it this year? Is it in San Francisco? Is that where it is?
I'm not even sure, honestly. I didn't even.
Let's check. Let me look this up real quick. Super Bowl 60. Yeah, it's in Santa Clara. Aaron Rodgers is
Levi
going to be hoisting
Stadium.
it on February 8, 2026 with Taylor Swift performing at halftime.
That's crazy,
uh,
but nope, not gonna happen.
I mean, let's talk about the other side of things. Do you have a team in mind that's kind of going to fall back?
Um,
A team that made the playoffs is now going to have a stinker of a season.
yeah, I mean, I don't think this is gonna be a team that's gonna have a stinker of a season, but a team that's gonna narrowly miss the playoffs, maybe, lose, definitely lose a lot more games than they lost last year. That team is the Minnesota Vikings. You had Sam Darnold there last year. He played amazing. Um, but now you got JJ McCarthy in there. He's just coming off of an injury, finally healthy, but there's nobody else in the QB room that can help him out. Nobody with experience that's going to really give him the insight that he needs to be a professional in this league like Sam Darnold or Kirk Cousins would have been able to do. So I'm gonna say the Minnesota Vikings. Like you got Jordan Addison missing the first 3 games. There's bound to be regression with the NFC North getting even better. As you mentioned earlier, the Micah Parsons trade is very seismic for the league. I definitely have the Green Bay Packers winning that division. There's no way to count out the Detroit Lions. Of course, they won the division last year. And then, of course, you got Ben Johnson going over to Chicago. And I think that they're going to be much better than they were last year. And Caleb Williams will be even better. All these things compile together to make me think the Vikings will miss the playoffs this year. And so that's going to be my pick. How about you, Safal?
I mean, to me, I think it's the Broncos. And honestly, the reasoning is the AFC is just too stacked. The AFC just has too many great quarterbacks for a team with Bo Nix to compete. I know Bo Nix had a good year last year, solid year, as a rookie. But Bo Nix, people have to remember, is also one of the older second-year quarterbacks in NFL history. Guy's been playing in college football for damn near half a decade.
Him and Micah
So
Parsons are like the same age, so
And Michael Parsons been in the league for like, 4 years now.
Exactly. Old head.
Bo Nix is going into his second year, so I think the jump that people are expecting Bo Nix to have, I just don't expect the same jump because of his age. He's a lot older than people would expect for a rookie or like a second year quarterback. And like I said, the AFC is too loaded, man. You got Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes, and now Geno Smith in that same division, right? The Raiders got to upgrade at quarterback. They have Ashton Genty, they have Pete Carroll on the
Brock
Raiders.
Bowers.
Of course, even in the AFC South, they have Trevor Lawrence and CJ Stroud. Now Cam Ward. Let's see what Cam Ward does. Right now in the AFC North, they have Joe Burrow. They have Lamar Jackson. Now Aaron Rodgers is there. AFC East, you have Josh Allen. Let's see what Drake May does. There's Tua in Miami. It's just so many good quarterbacks. It's just going to be tough for the Denver Broncos to have the type of season last year. Just because of that, I think they're going to be falling back down to earth.
I
What
agree.
do you,
I think
yeah.
that I mean the AFC West is just too stacked overall. Like that's at least four losses, three losses if I'm being conservative for the Denver Broncos. I do think they have the most stacked defense in the league, of course, but so there'll be a lot of close games. But I agree that they may miss the playoffs, but I think it's gonna be close.
For sure. Who do you have winning the MVP this year?
We talked about this guy a lot already on the podcast today, but I'm gonna go Lamar Jackson. As we talked about earlier, he was robbed of the MVP last year. He accounted for 5,000 total yards and had over 40 touchdowns. Like that's never been done before. He's a stud. The way that he did it, at least, has never been done before. And for receiver talent, he really doesn't have like an insane roster. Like most of his career, he had no receiver talent at all. Now he has Bateman and Zay Flowers, but that's really not enough to warrant an MVP caliber quarterback. But that's how good Lamar Jackson is. That he's going to overcome that, and he's got Derrick Henry there in his backfield, but he's going to be just as good as Henry on the runs as well. So I'm gonna take Lamar Jackson. He's definitely gonna avenge last year's snubbing, and that's why I picked him as well to win the Super Bowl because I think he's just coming for it all this year, and I got him getting it.
I like Baker Mayfield to win the MVP this year. Um, I think Baker Mayfield will be completing his Hollywood movie arc of the rise, or I guess the rise and the fall and the rise again of Baker Mayfield, right? Baker Mayfield, walk on at Texas Tech, transfers to Oklahoma, number one overall pick in Cleveland, kind of controversially number one overall pick. Turns the Browns franchise around, but has a butt in with Odell Beckham's dad, and the fans turn on him, the coaching staff turns on him, the front office turns on him. He goes to Carolina, can't do anything, flies to LA on a Tuesday, starts on Thursday, and
That was legendary.
turns his career around.
Game-winning touchdown. That
A
was
98
insane.
yard drive after 2 days of preparation. That game turned his career around. He goes to Tampa Bay, succeeds Tom Brady, the GOAT. He succeeds Tom Brady, the GOAT, and now has back-to-back playoff appearances for the Buccaneers, is the Buccaneers franchise quarterback of the future, leading that team. I think he completes his resurgence Hollywood movie by winning the MVP this year. I love that Buccaneers offense. With Chris Godwin being out, Emeka Egbuka being a rookie, Bucky Irving being a second-year running back, that is firmly Baker's team. I think any success the Buccaneers have, the credit will be given to Baker Mayfield. And I just want to remind the audience as well, the last 2 years of the Buccaneers, I guess like Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers era of football, those are supposed to be reset years for the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers went all in, like salary cap wise, always backloading the contracts to try and win now with Tom Brady, and they were expecting to reset in those 2 years that after Brady left. But here comes Baker Mayfield, with the most dead cap money in the league or whatever the stat was. He still takes the Buccaneers to the playoffs. A couple years ago, beats the Eagles in a playoff game, almost beat the Lions in the divisional round of the playoffs. Last year, he lost to a thriller to Jaden Daniels on Monday night in the wild card round. I think this year, Baker Mayfield has a fabulous, fantastic year with Tampa Bay. I have Baker Mayfield winning the MVP.
I like your reasoning, Safal, and just to point back to a couple years ago when Buccaneers signed Mayfield, a lot of people were clowning him. A lot of people were thinking that it was going to
Kyle
be a
Trask is
reset.
gonna be
Yeah,
the starter.
the future QB1. Yeah, learned a little bit behind Brady. Not going to happen, but yeah, Baker, he kind of just took over that team, and people kind of wrote him off originally, and as an Eagles fan, they've been our worst nemesis so far the past couple of years. They've been beating our ass, and I got to give props to Baker. So if that happened, I'll be actually very happy. So we'll
Yeah.
hope for your pick to be true this year.
Well, that was a great podcast, Atlas. Now let's quickly go through the week one schedule. Let's
All
let's
right.
give our picks for the rest of the games that we didn't cover during the podcast, and we can call it there.
All right, let's first go over Eagles Cowboys. We already picked that. You got Cowboys, I got Eagles. And then Chiefs Chargers. Or you took the Chargers, I took the Chiefs.
Yep.
Um, so what do you got for Cardinals Saints? I know this is a real barn burner of a game.
I mean, I got the Cardinals. The Saints are the worst team in football. Saints or the Browns are the worst team in football. I don't expect the Saints or the Browns to win in many football games. They're going to win one, maybe two games each. I don't expect them to win. Give me Kyler, give me Marvin Harrison, give me Trey McBride, give me James Conner, Jonathan Gannon. I like the Cardinals.
Jonathan Gannon's a crazy reason for picking the Cardinals, but I'll still go with the Cardinals because as for reasons you said, it's the battle of former Eagles coordinators. But I got the Cardinals for sure. The Saints are just dog water.
Yeah.
Next, Dolphins Colts.
Give me
Another
the
another
Dolphins.
doozy. Yeah, give me
Give
give
me
me
the
the
Dolphins.
give me the
Tua
team that
Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Mike McDaniel. Give me
too
those
much.
boys. Devon Achane.
Give me the team that doesn't have Daniel Jones starting at quarterback.
There you go. That's all you need.
That's
Let's
all you
move on
need.
to the next.
All right, next we got Raiders Patriots.
Oh my God, now that's a doozer. I mean, those are evenly ranked teams.
This is the Josh McDaniels Bowl.
Josh McDaniels Bowl. I mean, Pete Carroll Bowl as well. Pete Carroll, former Patriots head coach. But give me the Raiders. I like Pete Carroll. I'm a huge Drake May fan. I love Drake May, but I think Mike Vrabel's gonna take some time to settle in. I think Pete Carroll is ready to go in Las Vegas. He had a year off. I mean, as did Vrabel. I mean, there's a lot of similarities, man, between the coaching staffs there. But I think I like Pete Carroll, Ashton Genty, Geno Smith, Jacoby Myers. I like those boys in Vegas.
I'm gonna take the Patriots on this one. I love me some Drake May, even though he went to UNC. He's a dog, and
UNC legend.
they just got Stephon Diggs. They got Hunter Henry, Travion Henderson. He's a stud. I think they'll find some neat ways with Josh McDaniels to get him involved early on, and you can keep Ramondre going as well. So I'm gonna take the Patriots, and I like their defense. Gonzo, my boy from Oregon, he's a stud as well on the cornerback position. Um,
Steelers, Jets. Who you got?
Steelers, Jets. I mean, Steelers. The Jets are terrible. I think they'll be better with Fields. That he's got his Ohio State connection. Garrett Wilson over there. Brees Hall, I think, should have a resurgent career year this year. And but other than that, I think the Steelers are basically better at every other position, and that includes quarterback. So I'm gonna take the Steelers week one, and I'm assuming you'll do the same.
Oh, easy pick. Give me the Steelers wide receivers over the Jets. Give me, Aaron Rodgers over Justin Fields. Give me Mike Tomlin. Give me the Steelers defense. Easy for me. It's Pittsburgh.
All right, next we got an NFC East showdown: Giants at Commanders.
Oh my God. This is the easiest pick of the day. Give me the Commanders. Jane Daniels, Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel now. It's an easy pick. Give me the Commanders. I don't want the team with Russell Wilson on it.
I mean, I'll take the Commanders too, but I think it'll be a little bit closer than we expect, and I think Commanders could have a slight regression, at least wins wise this year. Next, we got one of the best games of the week: the Panthers at the Jaguars. We got Travis Hunter's first NFL game, Ted McMillan's first game. What do you think?
I'll give me the Panthers all day, every day. They have Bryce to Tech connection. This gonna be a start of a Hall of Fame connection between, you know, with Bryce Young and Ted McMillan. Let's see what Trevor Lawrence does with Travis Hunter now. Let's see how Travis Hunter balances offense and defense. I am excited for this one just for the soul of. So I mean, I'm a Panthers fan, but even if you take that out, like let's see how Travis Hunter works in the NFL, right? He was able to do it in college, but this is the NFL, man. This is a different game over here. So give me the Panthers, but I am excited to see what Jacksonville does with Travis Hunter.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this game, and as earlier was the Eagles coordinator battle, this is the former Buccaneers coordinator battle. So I'm gonna take the team with a little bit more head coaching experience right now, Dave Canales, and I'll go with the
Over Liam
Panthers as
Cohen.
well. Yes, sir. Duval.
Duval, whatever he did with his eyes.
I did not want to relive that moment at all. So I'm
uh,
going Panthers. And then next we got an AFC North showdown: Bengals versus the Browns.
I mean, I don't need to talk about this one. Easy. Give me the Bengals. Give me Jamar Chase. Give me Joe Burrow. Give me T. Higgins. Give me Chase Brown. What are we doing here?
This is my sleeper pick. Bengals, obviously. I mean, Bengals are gonna dust the Browns this week. I'm hoping Chase Brown pops off for my fantasy team, but
Yeah.
I got the Bengals, man. Buccaneers Falcons. A lot of divisional matchups
This is a
this
big
week.
one. This is a big one here. Let's see what the Falcons are up to, right? Michael Penix, year two. Drake London, Kyle Pitts. Is he finally going to do something in the league? Bijan Robinson, obviously. With all that being said, give me the Buccaneers. I like Baker Mayfield in this one. This is a divisional game. Give me the veteran quarterback and the veteran head coach here.
I'm gonna go contrary to what you said and choose the Falcons just because they, like I said, they got the talent. And if there's a week for them to beat the Buccaneers, it's week one. You don't have Chris Godwin there. You got a rookie wide receiver over in Tampa Bay. I think this would be the time for them to steal a win for the NFC South, and so I'm gonna go with the Falcons at home on this one. And then next we got the 49ers Seahawks.
This one, give me Brock Purdy. The Seahawks just made a quarterback change from Geno to Sam Darnold, right? It's going to take some time to adjust there. I like Brock Purdy, George Kittle. I know Brandon Ayuk's out, but Ricky Pearsall's there. Deebo Samuel just left, but CMC should be back and healthy. They just traded for Brian Robinson Jr. Obviously, we all know about that defense. That defense is always good with Nick Bosa, Fred Warner. I mean, those guys are always good, man. Give me the 49ers. I like them over the Seahawks,
Yeah, I don't think we need to talk about this too much. You got Sam Darnold over there, and I'm going to take Brock Purdy every day of the week. So give me the
for sure.
49ers on that one. We got Titans and Broncos.
Oh, this I'm excited for this one, man. Cam Ward, shout out Cam Ward. No number one overall pick has ever been this less not talked about as Cam Ward has been over the past few months, right? Like I
It's
haven't
been
heard anything
crickets,
about
man.
Cam
It's
Ward.
been crickets. We've
Uh,
heard more about.
about a number one overall pick quarterback. He's not like just any other like offensive lineman or whatever, right? This is a quarterback we're talking about, and no one has heard of anything from him. So I don't really know what to expect out of Cam Ward outside of his Miami tape. We haven't heard anything in training camp, at least to the national media. I'm sure the people in Nashville are well aware, but nationally, there's been no talk of Cam Ward. We don't really know what to expect here. But with that being said, I think this is the first week or first game of his career. He's going up against one of the best defenses in the National Football League, in the Denver Broncos. I think he's going to struggle. It's going to take some time to Cam Ward to find his footing in the National Football League. In college, he kind of toyed around, those like standstill throws where he's not moving around and whatnot. Yeah, like let's see, how the game translates. I'm a fan of Cam Ward's work ethic. I like his game, but let's see how it translates to the NFL. It's going to take some time. Give me the defense of the Denver Broncos to beat Cam Ward and the Titans.
Yeah, I agree with you for everything you just said. I think the Denver Broncos are going to give Cam Ward a welcome to the NFL moment. However that may come, it may be a Surtain pick. It may be who knows. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I got the Broncos defense over the Tennessee Titans offense, and I think there will be some struggles for sure for Tennessee. But I'm very excited for the season overall for them. What other games we got Lions Packers,
This is
another
the game of the
team we just
afternoon.
talked about. Yep.
Game of the afternoon here. Uh, Michael Parsons' debut in Green Bay. The Lions' debut with that after losing both their coordinators. I think I like Green Bay in this one. I like Jordan Love. I think the Detroit Lions are gonna fall back a little. It's gonna take some time for them to adjust without after losing both of their coordinators on both sides of the football. And Dan Campbell is not a play caller on either side either. He's more of a CEO head coach. So it might take some time for the first time coordinators on both sides of the football to come in and settle in. Give me Green Bay for this one. Give me Matt LaFleur. Give me Micah Parsons. Give me Jordan Love.
Yeah, give me Green Bay as well for the simple reason that I wouldn't want to pick against a team in Lambeau when Micah Parsons just got signed there. Like that place is going to be electric, and I'll pick the Green Bay Packers.
Flashbacks of Reggie White to the Packers, flashbacks of Charles Woodson to the Packers. Both those trades netted Packers a Super Bowl win. Let's see what Micah Parsons does in Green Bay.
Yeah, let's see. It's going to be heavily anticipated, so it should be a great matchup. Next, we got Texans at Rams.
Give me CJ Stroud in this one. This is going to be a shocker here, but I think Devontae Adams is going to take some time to settle in, right? Last year with the Jets, it took him some time to settle in as well. Matt Stafford has not played in the preseason, has had lingering injuries. The Texans have a younger quarterback and CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud has had quite of a down year last year, but they still made the playoffs, won a playoff game. Nico Collins is coming back healthy. I like the Texans to beat the Rams in an upset in week one.
Give me the Rams. You know, Matt Stafford, he can be injured all preseason. Maybe he was just resting. Maybe he needed some time at home. Maybe he's
He is
ready
pretty
for.
old now.
Yeah, he's getting old, man. He's getting that late Tom Brady treatment right now. So yeah, I got the Rams. They got Devonte Adams, Kyron's there, and for all the reasons I mentioned, them making the NFC Championship is the same reasons that they're gonna win Week 1.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I guess we just covered Ravens and the Bills. I got both of us got the Ravens. Let's talk Vikings Bears. Who you got?
Um, Even though I said they're gonna have a down year, I'm still gonna take the Vikings. You know, Caleb Williams, he was supposed to be one of the most polished quarterbacks coming out of college, but turns out that was just nail polish. So I don't know. So
That was a good one. That was a good one.
I appreciate it, but yeah, no, I got the Vikings winning this one. I think JJ McCarthy is gonna be better than Caleb Williams in this league, and I think that
Whoa, that's a hot take.
I know it's a hot take, but you know, give me the Michigan guy over the soft USC number one pick who paints his nails. So I'm gonna take Vikings in this one nonetheless. You got all the talent in the world, and I think their defense is miles ahead of Chicago right now. So give me
I mean,
Minnesota.
for me, I'm going to take Chicago here in a shocker. I think Ben Johnson's going to come out and bring the best out of Caleb Williams. I like the weapons in Chicago, right? DJ Moore, Roma Dunze. I know they lost Keenan Allen, but DeAndre Swift is there, and I think just the addition of Ben Johnson, in that Chicago offense, what he's gonna do wonders for Caleb Williams. Now, Kevin O'Connell, obviously one of the best head coaches in all of football. He's going to be just fine with JJ McCarthy, but I think Ben Johnson will do a better job with Caleb Williams in this game than Kevin O'Connell will with JJ McCarthy starting his NFL career today. Caleb Williams, although albeit it was with Matt Eberflus last year, has had a year under his belt. JJ McCarthy is just starting in his first game this year. I think he struggles a little bit. I like Caleb Williams. I like Ben Johnson. Give me the Bears, week one.
And there we have it. We have all the week 1 picks, and I'm so excited. We're just a little bit away from the first game of the season, and I could not be happier. You know, this is going to be a
Yeah.
great season, and I was happy to, you know, go over these picks with you, my boy.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's going to be a great season. This is going to be a great season for the podcast. Great season for all the NFL fans out there. And yeah, let's bring back football.
Let's bring it back. It's back, baby.
All
Thank
right.
you, Roger.
Talk to you guys next week.
Let's see it.